not entirely. Um, we engage our youth in a wide variety of issues, not just some of the things that we do in terms of regular regimen. Yeah, well, when we have ESA drills and other types of deployment drills, our offspring, they get trained too. They must know the protocols and procedures of what it is to be in the Amexem-Moor-Empire National like everyone else. They're going to be adults and they're going to be parents one day, so we train them early. No getting around that. But we engage them in other things as well. Um, our offspring, for example, in the Atlantis area, um, they're very young, but the area captain down there, he plays the saxophone and he wants to learn to play the trombone and do other things. And is learning now to play chess and a few other things. We like to get them well-rounded because a lot of folks have their offspring and they let them run amok and do whatever. They play quote-unquote video games and all this other stuff all day, and well, they do it to keep them out of trouble, so to speak. Well, how folks do things in their individual lives is their individual business and all that. But we promote, and I can only say that, we promote. We cannot compel, but we do promote that our parents keep the quote-unquote tell lies to the vision off and keep the video games to an absolute minimum, if at all. A good book to read is helpful. We like to see book reports. I have stuff here, I have a file here of things that we have from our offspring. I read them. When they draw pictures, we keep them. Years from now, some of them, when they come through here, they will see, oh, that looks familiar. We pay attention to the subtleties and the little things, and we ask them questions. We do engage them. Our offspring in the Tom Memphis area raised a sharp offspring. One of them is reading way beyond their years of manifestation on this planet, and they're absolutely brilliant as a consequence. Their thing is the peer pressure situation. No one's offspring are immune to it, and so the parents have to do the right thing, which means they have to be actively engaged. We promote things to keep the parents actively engaged, to keep their offspring's minds properly occupied. A lot of us become mentally lazy and lazy in other means and methods, and as a result, it shows up in our offspring, because our offspring are in fact our mirror, and it's not just merely an individual household. If one household looks bad, we all look bad. So I'm not playing that game. And the parents in this venue will tell you, yes, there is a distinction between the official capacity and the private capacity. But I will come to you off the record and say, look, this is what it is with this. I observed this with your offspring. And wherever they go, folks see them, but they see us. It's all of us. So you have to have that type of cohesiveness in your approach, that type of coherence in your approach. And if you don't have it as the adults, the offspring think it's fine to slack off and act like a fool and go into all this peer pressure nonsense and everything else. And I'm here to tell you, look, there is a line between official and private capacity. I agree to the form and I agree to the substance, but I also know there's this thing called the greater good. Now, you cannot allow the greater good to override that which is the borderline between official and private. You have to find the balance. And it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So your approach is everything. And at the end of the day, the offspring, though, we have 12 departments and 39 sub-departments backing them up. They have no reason. They have no quote-unquote excuse not to do what they're supposed to do. Because they know we work very hard to put things in place and maintain things in place for their survival, but also to give them the ability to master things so that they actually thrive. And so there's certain things that simply cannot you cannot put a value on. There's certain things you cannot get around. And when folks come into the Amexem-Moor-Empire, one thing they should be able to expect is we have this thing called discipline. We have this thing called protocols and procedures. And this is not what we talk. This is what we live. And folks that seek to amalgamate into this venue, they got to bring that with them. If they don't have that mentality, they're barking up the wrong tree, as they say. And that's just being honest and real about it.